to see you again. My name is Alejandra Marin, and in this opportunity we will talk about consumer behavior, especially the steps a consumer takes when deciding to buy an important product. This is called consumer decision-making process. So let's get started. More in detail, I will explain the purchase decision-making process. It should be clear by now that for high involvement products, managers must start to reduce perceived risk by educating consumers about why the product is the best choice well in advance of the time that the person is ready to make a decision. To understand each of the steps in the decision-making process, we will follow the fortunes of one of our friends, let's say Jack, who is in the market for a new ride. There are 5 steps in the decision-making process: problem recognition, information search, evaluation of alternatives, product choice, and post-purchase evaluation. Let's discuss them one by one. Problem recognition occurs whenever a consumer sees a significant difference between their current state of affairs and some desired or ideal state. So in our example, Jack is tired of driving his old clunker. Most problem recognition occurs spontaneously. However, marketers can develop creative advertising messages that stimulate consumers to recognize that their current state just doesn't equal their desired state. For instance, marketers can create a TV commercial showing the adventure of owning a new car. Once Jack recognizes his problem, he wants a new car, he needs adequate information to resolve it. Information search is the step of the decision-making process in which the consumer checks his or her memory and then surveys the environment to identify what options might solve his or her problem. Jack might rely on online recommendations or on friends and family members' opinions. The information search steps include discovering what alternatives are available and which meet our personal needs. We call all of the alternatives a consumer is aware of when it is making the decision an evoked set, and the ones that he is seriously considering the consideration set. As a marketer, you want your consumers to know about your brand, because if the consumer does not know about the brand, the consumer cannot have his brand in their evoked set, and especially in the consideration set. Once Jack identifies his options, it is time to decide on a few true contenders. There are 2 components to this stage of the decision-making process. First, a consumer armed with information identifies a small number of products in which he or she is interested. He or she focuses on determinant attributes, the features most important to differentiate and compare among the product choices. Jack has always wanted a Ferrari, but after he allows himself to daydream for a few minutes, he returns to reality and reluctantly admits that an Italian sports car is probably outside of his range. He decides that the cars he likes and can actually afford are the Nissan Versa, the Kia Rio, and the Chevrolet Spark. For Jack, price is a determinant attribute. Now it is decision time. Jack has to look more systematically at each of the 3 possibilities and identify the important product characteristics. This is what marketers refer to as evaluative criteria. In our example, Jack may use power, comfort, price, and the style of the car, and perhaps safety. When Jack examines his alternatives and takes a few test drives, it is time to put the pedal to the metal. Deciding on one product and acting on this choice is the next step in the decision-making process. After thinking a lot of his choices for a few weeks, Jack decides that though the Nissan Versa and the Honda Fit have attractive qualities, The fit offers the affordability he needs, and its carefree image reflects how he wants to be perceived by others. So how do consumers make decisions in general? It is complex because it is hard to juggle all evaluative criteria in the consumer's heads. For extended problem-solving decisions, consumers often consider all the evaluative criteria and the relative importance of each one. This is called compensatory decision rules. The poor standing of a criterion can potentially offset the good standing of another. For example, Jack may find one car has a better fuel efficiency record while a second one has a better styling. Jack might choose the better looking one because the coolness factor compensates the lower fuel efficiency. Another important aspect that affects consumer decision making is called heuristics. Many times we rely upon simple rules of thumb or heuristics, for example, high price means high quality, to facilitate decision making. Perhaps the most common heuristics is brand loyalty. For instance, you don't evaluate your favorite brands, you just buy them. In the last step of decision-making process, the consumer evaluates just how good a choice it was. The evaluation of the product results in a level of consumer satisfaction or dissatisfaction, which is determined by the overall feelings or attitude a person has about a product after purchasing it. How well a product meets or exceeds expectations determines consumer satisfaction. Consumers assess product quality by comparing what they have bought to a performance standard created by a mixture of information from marketing communications, informal information sources such as friends and family, and their own experience with the product category. This is why it's very important that marketers create accurate expectations in the product in advertising and other communications. You don't want to create false expectations. In this video, I have talked about the 5 steps in the decision-making process when buying a product that requires high involvement. Consumer behavior is a very important field in marketing, and we just discussed here the beginning of what consumer behavior means. So I hope you keep reading. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.